Okay guys, welcome to our new studio rack update. This is for 2023. I'm getting ready to start a new project for a client and I'm all set up ready to go. And I have a few pieces of gear that I'm going to be using for the first time. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to show you the rack, show you where I'm at, show you what kind of gear we have, couple of new additions. Everything I'm going to show you today, for the most part, has a review already on the channel. You can go check out the video. If not, I'll mention which ones do not as of the recording of this video. But always check the archive because by the time you see this video, there may already be a review. So before we get over to the rack, let me just kind of show you the studio here. So again, we're still working obviously on the SSL. We got a new project up, we're getting ready to go. And then we're gonna be going over here and checking out the rack. So one other thing you might notice, well, I'll take this off the stand now. I'm gonna apologize for the camera work up front. It's all handheld today, but I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna kind of show you. But before we get started, one thing I added here, and again, I'll do another video on this at a later time, but I added an actual cloud above the mixing position. A large cloud, apparently here, a real large cloud. This is 2, 4, 6, 8 feet, 10 feet wide by 2, 4, 6 feet deep. 2.5 inch thick panels that are mounted to the suspended ceiling. What a difference this made. Much more than I thought it would, but we'll talk about that in a later video. So that's new, is the cloud here. So I've done a couple of mixes since then, makes a big difference. But while you're here is you want to see the studio rack. So let's move over here and let's start with the rack. Let me turn down some of the brightness here so we don't blow out the video. Okay, we'll start here on top. First thing we have here is we have a brand new piece by Gain Lab Audio. This is the Empress Tube Equalizer. This thing's amazing. It's on the master bus, which is where I have it. It's a Pultec EQ, style EQ, with the mid-band and a couple other features. And one of the greatest features I love about this is this little switch in the center called the Tube Boost. See that? What a difference that makes. Man, it just sounds amazing. Again, there's no video as of right now. I'm gonna do a couple of mixes with it, then I'm gonna do a video for you. But my preliminary test, it's awesome. So that is the Gain Lab Tube Equalizer, the Empress. Underneath that, we have another brand new piece here by audio-scape. We got the 260 VU DBX stereo compressor. Again, that is going to be a video will be coming shortly on that. When my buddy David SJ gets back up here, we're going to do that together. So those are two new pieces. Underneath that, you've seen these before. We've done reviews on all of these. We have the Blackline Audio Bluey. We have the audio-scape 76D 1176 compressor. And then if we come over here to this side, we have the other two audio-scapes, the 76A and the 76F. So this is kind of 1176 land right here in the center, 4 1176 compressors. Love those, they get used on just about every single mix. Let's start on the right side here. So we'll go down here. Again, I apologize for any shaky camera work here, but here's the Aphex 204s, which I use on toms all the time. Again, full review on the channel, love those, still use them every day. Two distressors. What do you got to say about distressors? They sound them awesome on everything. Again, there will be, I don't think I did a review on these, but there will be soon. We'll do a review on those. Underneath that, going down to the second rack here, we have the Fusion SSL. Again, great piece, use that all the time. Underneath that, we have the ART Trans-Y stereo compressor. I don't use this nearly as much as I thought I would. At one point, I use it for background vocals. It's a good little handy compressor, but I don't use it all the time. Underneath that, we got the API 5500 EQ. I absolutely love that piece. Full review on the channel. Just sounds amazing. I was using it on drum bus for a long time. Now I'm trying out something else on the drum bus, which I'll show you in a bit. So I've been using these on electric guitar. Sound great. Sound great. Wish I had 3 of those, but they're pretty pricey. Underneath that, we got the famous audio-scape EQP, the Pultec. Full review on the channel. I love that. Again, I want to get another one of these soon. So I have a pair. But now that I have the Gain Lab, or the Gain Lab Audio Empress on the master bus, these are just great for single channels. Pultecs are great. What do you have to say about Pultecs, right? Underneath that, we have our Line 6 Echo Pros. These I don't use nearly as much as I thought I would, and I'm probably going to sell them soon. Plugins are just as good as this for the delays. They're in great condition. They don't make them anymore. They're a little challenging to find, but you can get them for a few $100 on Reverb. If anybody's interested in buying one of those or both of them, let me know. They're great units, I just don't use them. Underneath that, we have our audio-scape XL305R Reverb, which is just amazing. Full review on the channel there for that as well. That gets used on every single mix. Then underneath that, we have the NG bus compressor by West Audio. Again, use that primarily on drum bus. Sounds amazing. I love that it's digitally controlled with a plugin. Again, full review on the channel for that one as well. Let's move up here to the next rack. We have our patch bays. We've talked about those before. You've seen me and David SJ do live streams, wiring and rewiring the patch bays a few times. Underneath that, we have a 500 rack. Let me turn down the light here. I think it's a little bit bright here still. Get a little less light. Okay, so over here we had a couple of new pieces. We have the Neve 542 tape emulators. Fantastic. Love these things. Use them on the master bus on every mix. Next to that, we have our new drum bus EQ that I'm trying out. I was turned on to these by my good buddy Charlie over at Ultimate Studios Inc., the Trident 80Bs. A pair of those on the drum bus. I love the way they sound on drum bus. Love them, they sound great. So right now they're doing duty and taken away from the API 5500, but I just love the way they sound. Next to that, we have a couple of open slots. We have a new piece of gear coming soon, which I'll talk about when it comes in, not right away, but I got something really cool coming in there. And then we have our 5 SSL E-Series Dynamics. I don't use these as much. I had 11 of them. I sold off a few of them. I'm thinking about selling off one more and just keeping 2 pairs. I don't use these nearly as much as I thought I would either. They're great compressors, but I really don't use them that much. I have so many compressors that I don't use them all the time, but I'm always gonna keep a couple. I'm not sure how many I'm gonna unload, but I will at one point, some of them. Then underneath that, we have the West Audio Titan 500 series rack. From left to right, we have the Dione BCA stereo compressor. Love that. That's the SSL on steroids. Again, there's a review on the channel for that. Then we have the West Audio RIA, the Verimute compressor. Again, fantastic compressor. Have not done a review yet, coming soon, but awesome on acoustic guitar, piano, bass, vocals, anything sounds great. Next to that, we have the audio-scape VA3A, the LA3As. Again, sound fantastic on guitars. Sound great on a drum bus too, by the way. Again, I did a drum bus video not too long ago, and you guys heard this on a drum bus, they sound great. But we'll do a full review on this as well, coming up in 2023. Next to that, we have the SPL DS. Fantastic DS-er, better than any plugin I've ever used. I wish I had 3 more of those. And they're cheap. AMS Reverb, use this on drums all the time. Love it, love it, love it. Fantastic. Then down beneath, we have 2 DBX 160As. You saw a review on the channel we did with David SJ. And these 2 are modded by Revive Audio. We talked about them before. Fantastic mods. I use these on everything. Kick, snare, bass. When I sell those 2 Line 6 Echo Pros, it'll free up 2 more spaces. I'm thinking about getting 2 more of these just because they're affordable, they sound great, and they're very versatile. So check out the video on the DBX 160s. Underneath that, we got the audio-scape V-Comp Stay Level. Again, nothing sounds like this in my rack. Great on pianos, bass, ballad vocals, female ballad vocals. Big, rich, fat, creamy, sounds great. And then lastly in the rack, we have the audio-scape opto compressor, the LA2A. What can you say about that? Sounds great on everything. Okay, so there's all the gear. Another new addition that if you have not seen the video, I highly recommend you go check it out. This is my newest acquisition, the Trinoff ST2 Pro, which is a room correction unit. Again, there's at least 2 videos. Probably by the time you see this video, 3 or 4 videos on this. It makes SonarWorks look like a toy. Probably one of the best investments I ever made in this studio. For mixing, go check out the Trinoff. That's all I'll say about that. Then we have our computer shelf. You've seen that before, kind of sloppy, I apologize. Gotta do a little bit better cable management. Running a Mac Mini from 2020, the M1 chip, the first version of it. Sounds perfect for what I'm doing here. We have the Universal Audio Satellite Octo there as well for when I do use some universal audio plugins. Then under that, we have all of our power conditioners. There's 5 of them, all the gear and the console, everything plugged in. And then underneath that, we have our 3 Quantums by PreSonus, the 2626 and then the 2 4848s, which gives me 64 in, 64 out. Perfect. And then obviously, let me just stand up here. We have the console. No kidding, right? Let me turn the brightness back up a little bit here for you. So here we go, the SSL. I did a 6-month review on this, and I'm getting ready to do an 18th month review, 2-year review. I work on this thing every day. It's just such a joy to work on. Now they have the 16-channel version, which we talked about in a live stream. I highly recommend, if you're in the market for a console, you may want to look at the 16-channel version. It's much more affordable, but this thing is just great. For what these things cost and what you get out of them and how flexible they are, I think they sound great. It has that SSL sound that sounds fantastic. So that is our SSL, and then we got a session up here. I'm going to be mixing, probably can't see that too well, Lori Cole. Let me turn that down a little bit maybe. Lori Cole, female country artist. Going to be doing a tune by her starting later today. So we got it up on the console, we're ready to go. So that is our 2023 Studio Rack Tour. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe. If there's anything else that you want to see here in the future, let me know if you have any other video ideas, but I'm just mixing here all the time. Mixing here all the time, done some refinements, again, with the cloud, with the trim off, room correction, adding some select pieces of gear, just kind of filling in the holes. And that's really it. And now it's not a matter of getting new gear, it's a matter of selling off gear to get stuff that, you know, fills a hole, fills a need. And so I have plenty of choices here. I don't use all the gear on every mix, obviously, but everything just sounds good. So I'm really, really happy about where we're at right now here. And we're just working. So again, make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave comments below. I really do appreciate all your support. And until the next video, I've been Dave with Mixing Music Analog and mixingmusicanalog.com. Talk to you guys soon.